jump right into it.
All right. So, as you guys know, Zelenskyy made it to the White House earlier today.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think we have some highlights for you guys to show.
They've been rumbling for a couple of years now. Let's see if we can.
About 4 years now. And it's time to end this rumble. So let's see what this well-dressed man today has to say.
Look at his combat suit.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks, and I think progress is being made, very, very substantial progress in many ways. 7 very powerful leaders from Europe, and we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you so
President.
much.
I know
Thank
the
you so
president,
much.
I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it.
Yes. If the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works.
Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries, and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
President Zelenskyy, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time. See, that was
I remember that.
I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelenskyy.
In the same suit. You see, I changed you.
Maybe yours is better. Real quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances. And a little bit, we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
Not buying it.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
No.
Last week you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I don't think you need a ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war.
How tiny
I
he
didn't
looks
do
in
any
the chair.
ceasefires. And I know
booster
that
chair.
it might be good to have, but I can also understand strategically why, well, you know, one country or the other wouldn't want it. You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do any ceasefires. Would I like the concept, you know, I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately, as opposed to in 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever it takes. But we can work a deal where we're working on a peace deal while they're fighting. They have to fight. I wish they could stop. I'd like them to stop. But strategically, that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. Do you want to answer?
Yeah, I can. Thank you so much. So first of all, we have possibility now to buy weapon from the United States. We are thankful for this program and this opportunity. We are thankful for Europe. They pay for this. And through NATO program, for example, Pearl and etc., we have some programs where we can have some money to finance
I don't really like that.
this. And this is a part, I think, it's not a part for the war and to defend us. It also will be a part for security guarantees, to strengthen our army, to rearm Ukrainian army. This is very, very important. And it depends how much money we need to rearm. For example, the question of air defense, we spoke about it with President Trump, and I'm happy that we have now bilateral decisions and we work on it with production, American production. Nobody in Europe has so many air defense like Patriots, for example. We need it very much, and this is also about defending.
What security guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything.
Money. We need
Really,
That's greedy.
Give me the
includes
money.
two parts. First, strong Ukrainian army. That's what I began to discuss with your colleagues. And it's a lot about weapon and then people and training missions and intelligence. And second, we will discuss with our partners. It depends on the big countries, on the United States, on a lot of our friends.
How much money?
I don't think Trump liked that. You see him, he was like looking down.
The administration. What would you say to the Ukrainian people right now who are suffering under the Russian attacks and hoping that the American people will stand with them?
Well, I know Ukrainian people. I've known many over the years. They're great people. They're smart. They're energetic. They love their country. I mean, they love their country, and we want to get this war ended. That's all I can do. I love the Ukrainian people, but I love all people. I love the Russian people. I love them all. I want to get the war stopped. Very important.
Any aspect of your discussion with Vladimir Putin that left you disappointed?
Look, we just spoke to, I was just telling the president, I just spoke to President Putin indirectly, and we're going to have a phone call right after these meetings today. And we may or may not have a trilat. If we don't have a trilat, then the fighting continues. And if we do, we have a good chance. I think if we have a trilat, there's a good chance of maybe ending it. But he's expecting my call when we're finished with this meeting. Thank you very much, everybody.
Awesome.
Right.
So it's so interesting because looking on social media and seeing the only clip out of all of that that was being so heavily pushed was when they talked about what he was wearing. I'm like, why can't you find anything else on this? Like, you have to watch the whole thing or like a compilation like this, but like the clips that people were pushing out was only about that. Like the most insignificant thing, like if you look at everything that was just talked about, like,
Well, it's harder to control the narrative when you're actually showing people what's being said.
exactly.
It's easier to be like, well, nothing's happening. He's not doing anything. It's like,
Yeah, they're talking about clothes.
you only talked about his jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have ran that clip when Trump said, I love Ukrainians and I love Russians. I love all people. Like, that would have been a good clip to
So
push
you're saying-
out there. Even
you're saying there's-
MAGA. Why isn't MAGA pushing that out?
I know, right? So you're saying there are fine people on both sides. Wait a minute. I'm not talking about them. That part would just be taken out. No, it's interesting. A lot of people don't, like you said, on the right, don't even want to talk about certain things because it would definitely change how people are framing this on both sides, on very fine people, very unfine people on both sides. We call the woke right.
Yeah.
We'll do an episode on that in the future,
They
but
do
there
exist.
is a woke right. You might be on the right side yourself thinking, what is the woke right? Well, we will do an episode on that coming soon. But yeah, people skewing facts for their own agendas, and they're doing it, and a lot of it's sloppy research and a lot of it's sloppy reporting. We got to be truth here. We got to be truthful to everything, and it's got to go wherever it goes, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Not everything that Trump does or says is right and is something that we should just back blindly. No, of course not. We got to call him out. We got to call everybody out, and we got to follow the truth to where the truth is. That's what this show's about, and that's what we're about. And it just so happens that Trump has been on the side of truth this whole time, and that's where we got to stay focused, guys.
Yeah. So after this, there was a little bit an after party, I guess. Just kind of recapping everything that they talked about and seeing like what Zelenskyy thought of it. And so I think we have a clip for you on that one.
I like how his English gets bad when they start asking tough questions.
I know. At some point, I'm like, what is he saying?
Depends on the weapons and stuff.
Everything.
Everything.
That was a little dictatory Zelenskyy.
Little tater.
Conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
And it really was the best one, maybe the best one will be in the future. But it was really good. And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees, and we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here, and the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those leaders who are with us in our hearts. They have been online before yesterday, and etc. So a lot of countries on the side of Ukraine, our people, and all of us want to finish this war, stop Russia and stop this war. We spoke about it, and we will speak more about security guarantees. This is very important that the United States gives such strong signal and is ready for security guarantees. The second point, or maybe the first, humanitarian direction, very important to exchange all the prisoners, and I think that President will help. And I was very thankful to your wife again, Mr. President, for the letter about our abducted children, and I hope that really it can be a historic role for the people to bring kids back to the families.
Well, that I can agree with.
Get the people back, yeah.
Yes, this is so important, and I'm happy that we discussed it, this track with President Trump, and I hope that we will find decisions. And then what is very important, that all the sensitive things, territorial, etc., we will discuss on the level of leaders during trilateral meeting, and President Trump will try to organize such meeting, and he said that he will come or not come. Ukraine will be happy if you will
both want me there, I will be there. Yeah,
yeah, thank you. And I think this is very important. Yes, so security guarantees, bringing kids back, and all our people, not only warriors, first of all warriors, and all the civilians, journalists, a lot of people in prison. So we need them back. And guarantees which will work for the years, we spoke about it, and I showed the President a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. Yeah. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting, and I'm very thankful to all the leaders who are here, and you help a lot, and so we're happy that we have such big unity today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much,
for hosting us.
Mr. President. I think you'll see that President Putin really would like to do something else. I think when we set that up, when we do, I think it's going to be when, not if.
There you
What's
go.
that little baggie right there next to Macron? No, I'm just
Just slowly.
claw that back there.
Doesn't it seem like Vladimir and Vladimir are just like two siblings having this like sibling rivalry fight, and Daddy Trump has to be the one to be like, okay, we're gonna talk it out. I'm gonna mediate. Like it's
Daddy Trump, yeah.
Vlad versus the Vlad.
Vlad versus Vlad. I don't feel like Ukraine wants peace. I mean, to me, this is my crazy conspiracy theory mind, right?
Well, they want money.
Well, of course.
They want the money.
We want the money. That's why I'm dressed in black. We want to be back in black. I think what the globalists want is to run Ukraine through the meat grinder. I think they want to do as much damage to Russia as possible to make Russia look as bad as possible, because Russia was the if you guys are following this, like through the Trilateral Commission, they mentioned that, right? They're the Trilateral Commission. You got Soros and the Open Societies Foundation and the World WEF, all these characters. They had been talking about openly, like, because I just thought about this now. It would have been great to pull this up of like Soros, I was just talking about, had said that basically if they can't take out Russia, their globalist world order is doomed.
Right.
And it is. You see it falling apart right now. If they can't take out Russia, they are basically doomed. Their whole plan is kind of ruined. And we could go into that further. I don't want to eat up too much time on it. I'd rather just, save it for another time once these things kind of pan out. But basically, they needed Russia to go down because they were such a major player with China, which throws off the Trilateral Commission. If you don't know what the Trilateral Commission, agreement, North America, Europe, and then Asia, right? So Asia and Russia, China and Russia specifically, form an alliance, and they're smart enough to not try to fight with each other, right? They're like, you don't mess with me, we won't mess with you. And they're like, yeah, we're okay with this. So China and Russia have been working well enough together, right? They've been partners, more or less. I mean, bitter alliance or whatever you want to call it. They have not been broken in their connection. And so that throws off the ability for the West or Europe to then step in and work with China. Because you're like, we see how Canada is basically run by China. A lot of places around the world, Beijing, Biden, right? China and the other lateral alliances had been working together to secure a deal. And they needed to basically, the Western globalists needed to edge out Russia out of that deal to show that, hey, we can provide what you can't do, what Russia can't do. And they couldn't do that. They tried to, right? When this happened, they tried to take them off the SWIFT system, but Russia had learned their lesson since the last World War, right? They were ready.
They had the bricks.
Right, because USSR fell not because of bombs. They fell because of their economy, and they were ready this time. They're a nation state, which means they don't need anything. They could close all their borders, and they would be just fine.
Yeah.
So, and they're big. They have a lot of resources and stuff like that. So they were ready this time. When they tried to take them off of that SWIFT system, they had them with sanctions. Remember, they bombed. Remember Biden with the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline. What are you going to do?
I can't believe they try to play that off as if it was Russia.
Right. It's like, oh, Russia bombed their own pipeline.
Totally makes sense.
And then what was Putin's response? Like, think about who could have done that and who would have gained from it.
Right.
It's like
motive matters.
Yeah,
ability matters.
Yeah, like only a few countries could have had the technical capabilities to pull off, and that was one of the worst ecological disasters in history. And that was obviously, I can't confirm this, but I think we all know that was Biden administration. That was the Western powers trying to stop them, and they couldn't do it. So that ruined that, threw a monkey wrench in their whole plan. So I think to tie it all together, to land the plane, I think that really screwed them over in their globalist agenda. So they're just going to they don't want peace. They're going to send Zelenskyy, who's obviously just a puppet, to go up there and say whatever, and they'll appear however he needs to appear. But they're really, and that's why Hillary Clinton recently said, I'll nominate Trump myself for a Nobel Peace Prize if he can pull this off, knowing that they're probably not going to ever do that because Putin's going to want part of the Donbass region, right? That was part of what the agreements are, is that's what they alluded to. What didn't you like about it, or what was going to be hard to get done? Looks like, Putin's like, no, we want, probably because of resources, they're like, no, we want this part. Like, we want some of this, and he's probably not going to give it up.
No.
And so that's going to give Zelenskyy and these guys a reason to say, nope, we're going to keep fighting till the very last one. And that's just me making my prediction right now. They're going to go up there.
There'll be some form of peace made. I don't know if it'll be exactly what all the demands that he wants. He literally said he wants everything. So
right.
I don't think it's going to be that. But that's with any sort of compromise, right? You need to have a little bit of give and take. So neither side is going to get exactly what they want. And that's the only way that peace is ever going to happen, like whether it be in countries or in your own personal relationships. You're not just like, okay, it's all what I want and we're good. Like, no, you have to give and take, right?
Right.